Hey everyone, welcome to a real quick video that I'm going to be doing right here today. We were talking on the Discord just a little bit ago, and I figured that it'd probably be okay to have a little discussion on trading wedges. And so, looking at Ethereum, before I get into this, not financial advice, not your financial advisor. This is not something that I typically do, posting trades like this that I'm taking myself. But yeah, I think it's worth talking about. So I do want to discuss what we're looking at here. But again, you're responsible for your own trades, manage your own risk, doing your own research. I'm just giving my opinion here, and I could be wrong, but this looks like a decent setup. So I want to discuss what the architecture of this is, and see what we've got in front of us in the trade that I just recently took. So the entry that I was able to get on this was about $270, and I averaged in at about 270.16. And what I'm basically looking for is I'm going to be looking for a measured move out of this wedge. So let me zoom in on this a little bit here just to take a look. And basically what I saw, we saw a nice first move up, and then we had a pullback. We had a second move up, and now we are consolidating. And this looks very much like a wedge. It looks like it's going to break out to the upside. Now I'm on a 1 minute chart, so I don't have like super crazy targets on this or anything. Um, but as soon as this starts closing candles above the upper of this compressionary range, I do think that we will have a measured move here. And I'm using Fibonacci to do this. The way I have my Fibonacci set up here, I have my 50, my 100, my negative 50, and my negative 100 for my expansions. So I measured basically the bottom to the top. I've got my 50% move, so my first take profit is going to be here at 277. My 100% measured move is going to be up here at $280. So I've got my actual take profit sitting at about 276.25, and then my next one is going to be at $279.10. I just recently moved them compared to what I was discussing on the Discord earlier. That's currently what I've got going right now on Ethereum. But again, on a wedge, typically what you're going to see here, you're going to basically be seeing, a nice move down, A, B, C into an A, and then you're going to have an A, B, C into a B, and then you've got a nice A, B, C into a C, A, B, C into a D, A, B, C into an E, and then you're going to be basically looking for the breakout on the E. Now, trading this, I was looking to catch the bottom of the E as much as I could. I got, again, 270.16. That was right down here, close to the bottom of this. And, we're starting to break out. It hasn't, we really haven't broken out just quite yet. Once we overtake this D, I'll feel a little bit more comfortable, but this trade does look to be okay. So once we break above that D, I think that'd be good. But again, when you're trading wedges like this, you don't want this to violate the bottom of the prior low. So we've got this right here at $269. This was the stop loss. So when you're trading an E, sometimes it does go down beyond the lower, but it should not violate the bottom of that C wave that we've got identified. And these are really easy to identify. You're basically looking for something that moves down, moves up, not as much, moves down, not as much, moves up, not as much, moves down, not as much, and then it's going to break out. And typically is a continuation pattern. So what that means is if it's going up and then it starts to do this, then you're going to be looking for it to break up. The same thing is to be true if it's going down, right? So if you're looking at this and it's going down and it starts doing this same thing, you're going to be looking for a breakdown, okay? So just kind of keep that in mind. We haven't broken out yet, as I was mentioning earlier. This isn't confirmed. We haven't broken out of this trend yet. But again, we're going to go ahead and track this trade. Not something typically that I do here, but I do think that here within the next, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes or so, I do think that this is probably going to break out to the upside. And again, I'll feel much more comfortable if we are able to overtake this range up here, which is going to be at about 207, we'll say 272. Break at 272 will make me feel much more comfortable. At this rate, we've come up from this E, so I wouldn't expect it to fall back down into this area again. I would say that there is potential that it comes back down here to about 270.50, and then we start to see a move up and out of this. So we'll just kind of hang tight and see how this goes. I'm just going to go ahead and mute myself for right now, and I'm going to put a little note here to let you guys know that I am intentionally keeping silent as this trade unfolds. So I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to go ahead and mute myself and wait for this trade to play out, and I'll be back when I see any developments on the trade. The price action, sorry, I'm back here. The price action does look like it's overtaking the previous high that we had here a couple minutes ago. So it's still looking pretty good. Starting to see a little bit of momentum to the upside, and we still haven't overtaken 272, but we are getting close. Trade is obviously in profit, and this is looking pretty decent. So again, I'm going to go ahead and mute myself again here, and just again we're going to wait this out and see how things go. All right, it looks like we have taken out the previous high again that we had here at 272. We just pushed above it just a little bit. We're sitting here at 272.15. So things are looking fairly well. And again, now we're basically going to be looking for a push break above this previous high before that, which is going to be at about 273 now. So we're going to be looking for about another dollar to the upside. And kind of, again, we're going to kind of wait and see. But the fact of the matter is we have broken out of the wedge. And again, this is going to take a little bit of time. We've broken up and out of the wedge, and we've overtaken 272, and now we are looking to make a break here of 273 to take out the prior high before that. And it is very possible that what we may see here, we may see a retest of the upper. That is very possible. That could be a place for you to enter a trade, which is going to be right here. I would say, somewhere around 271 is possible to enter a trade here if you're not in a position. Again, this is I guess this is on a 1 minute chart, so this is literally a scalp trade. This is not something that I would hold for more than 30 minutes to an hour. But I do expect this to start to move here rather in short time frames. So again, I'm going to go ahead and mute again here. We'll kind of wait this out, and I'll be back as I see more information on the chart. So while we wait on this trade to work itself out here, what I would actually like to do is take a look at the Ethereum versus Bitcoin trading pair and see if it is also in a bit of an uptrend, which would mean that it would be gaining quicker than Bitcoin is. So let's just take a look here again at the 1 minute chart. Very similar formation. I mean, it's a slight difference, but you know, we do have another break in structure here. Let me pull this back up here. I think this fits a little better. So we had this. We had a little bit of a break, and then we had the retest, and then a continuation to the upside. So even Ethereum versus Bitcoin is looking pretty good for the time being. We had, let's see here, pull this down, and then we had from down here. Again, looks very similar. It didn't quite come down the way that Ethereum versus the dollar did. We have an A, B, and then a C here, D, and an E. Really, you would have liked for the C to come down here to this lower, but it still looks okay. Still broke to the upside, which is what we expected on the dollar trading pair. Let's go ahead and move back over there and see what this is looking like. It's still looking pretty decent. So trade currently in profit still. I'm going to hold this out and just be a little patient with it. And you know, we've got again, if you're fast forwarding and you're just catching us here, you know, of course, this is meant to be for educational purposes only. But again, we're trading based on this wedge here. We had a very obvious A, B, C, D, and then as this was consolidating here for the E, again, I took this trade here. Average entry at about 270.15. It was actually 270.16. As my average entry, and we're basically stopping on a break of this wick down here that we have as our proposed C. So far, so good. So far, so good. But yeah, this C down here is where our stop loss is currently going to be at. Once we are able to overtake this level right here, what I'll probably end up doing is moving my stop loss up here to 271.20, which would be in profit, and that would be in confluence with these areas which were prior resistance. Would expect those to be support. So if we break that structure, then we're likely going to be heading down. So that's going to be my strategy. Once we are able to break cleanly above 273. I'd like to see a break of 273, and then I will move my stop loss up here to 271.10. So we're still making upward momentum, upward progress, 272.80, and there's 273. So again, let's wait this out and see how things go. Things are looking pretty good so far. And again, I'm going to go ahead and mute myself, and we'll wait as this you know, starts to move up. But again, as we close above 273, moving that stop loss up here so that you'll at least be in profit. This is looking pretty good here, about 271, 271.10 or so as the stop loss for this trade. All right, so we're sitting up here almost at 274 now. Again, things are looking very nice. I'm very happy with how this is turning out so far. We are basically breaking above the our last kill zone. So again, we're basically looking for a breakout, and yep, this is looking quite nice. We're looking for a breakout of not just wave D and wave B, but we're looking for a breakout of the top of the third wave here, which has just recently happened. And you could tell there was a bit of a spike there, so more than likely this was potential some stop losses or some breakout buyers that are buying on a breakout of this trade. Yeah, sorry, not this trade, but breakout of this high here. So likely that is what's happening. Things again still looking pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and move my stop loss up here to this range, and I'm going to outline this range here for you and kind of explain the reasons why this is why this is an important range for us. And it actually goes all the way back to the very beginning of this. So this right here, I'm going to give this a different color because it is hard to see. So what we've basically got is we've got a low here, we have resistance here, and then also we had support here, resistance there, support here, resistance there, resistance again. And so naturally you would expect that to be support on the way down. So if this breaks down here, then the trade is bad, right? Or in other words, that level would be invalidated. So I'm going to move my stop loss up to this level right here, which is going to be about 271.20. But it looks like we are going to rapidly reach my target of 276.25, and then further looking for my last target of 279.10. Again, this is not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. This is for educational purposes only. We're talking about wedge trading. We're talking about scalping on a 1 minute time frame. So you have to take that with a grain of salt. This is not where you make huge trades, but this is where you can make some profitable trades. Once you see these formations, take advantage of them. And again, you don't want to try and trade the A. You don't want to try and trade the C, but once you see this form, and then you see a retrace down here for the E wave, that's the one that you're going to be looking for. That's the one that you're going to be looking for. So far, so good. This is looking really good. We're getting really close to my first take profit here, and it's probably going to be hitting here in the next I don't know, 2 to 3 minutes more than likely. But really at this point, if we retreat back to 273.75, that's probably not going to be very good. Again, I mean the trade is still good, but I don't want to see it come back down into this range. Although it certainly can. The trade's not invalid until you take out this bottom of the C wave right here. But again, moving the stop loss back to 271.20. I'm going to go ahead and do that now over on another screen. 271.20, and that is done. We're doing a bit of a pullback here. Nothing to be afraid of here. Looks still good. It looks like we're still finding new support here at 273.75, so that is good. I would expect there to be a little bit of bouncing here on the break of this structure. So just got to move up just a little bit more to hit our profit zone. All right, I'm going to go ahead and mute myself again as we wait for this to work out. The stochastics on the 1 minute do look like they're a little exhausted, so I would give it just a little bit of time to reset. And that's looking at these stochastics down here. Keeping an eye on that, giving this a little bit of time to pull back. But nonetheless, I do think we make a raid for this 276.20, and then we'll see what happens with the 279. I'm going to move to the 3-minute chart here because the stochastics on the 3-minute do look like they are a little exhausted, likely going to reset on this. So we may be in this trade a little longer than I really had hoped for. Again, taking a look at the stochastics here on the 3-minute, we do have a fresh cross on the 3-minute, so likely this is going to push down a little bit. I'm a little disappointed that it didn't hit my first take profit before this happened, but nonetheless, it is. It is reality sometimes. It's going to come back a little bit when it got so close to my first take profit. But again, I'm going to go ahead and stay on this. I've got my my stop loss moved up to 271.20. So if we come back down there and I get stopped out, then so be it. But I still think that this is a good breakout of this wedge. So again, we'll wait. We'll wait and see how things go on the 5-minute. Let's wait for these Stokes to set up here. On the 5-minute, these also look like they're about ready to cross as well. Hasn't done it quite yet, so we'll wait this out. But yeah, so it does kind of look like we are going to be maybe consolidating at least for a little longer. I don't want this video to go out too long because we're already 30 minutes in here, but so I may go ahead and close out the video because I don't want to waste a whole bunch of space and bandwidth out on YouTube. But you know, at a minimum, what we've got here is a good trade. We had a wedge that was clearly defined, which is why I took advantage of it. It looked too good. You have to take this trade. Even if it is on a 1-minute chart. We do look like we have a potential A, B, C correction, even if it is on a 1-minute chart. This does look like we are, correcting, giving the 1-minute Stoke time to reset itself. The last time it was back here, down in the oversold territory, is back when we took the trade. So naturally, if this gets back down into this area with a much higher price, then the likelihood of this moving back up into our profit zones are much higher. So I'm going to go ahead and close out the video for right now. I will post the result of this trade on the Discord, and again, Discord doesn't cost anything to join. Just throw in a comment. I'll be more than happy to give you an invite code for you to join our Discord so you can be part of our community, where we were discussing this before it happened, which is what then prompted me to create this video, which I don't do very often. I don't like posting trades like this on YouTube, but but this looked like a good educational opportunity for us here to learn how to trade wedges, and why not make a little money on the process. But if this video did help you in any way, shape, or form, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And I hope you're having a good day wherever you are in the world. It's St. Valentine's Day, so give your loved one a hug and a kiss, and box of chocolates and all that good stuff. Some flowers are always nice too. And if this trade works out, then maybe you can get some diamonds for her as well. And again, I'm going to go ahead and end the video now, and I will post all of the updates on this trade on the Discord. So have a good day, everybody.